Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to the one true power, Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahawashi, Ba'Shem, Rakakwadash. Yahweh is the Most High God, and Yahawashi is who the world evenly calls Jesus Christ. The Rakakwadash is the Holy Spirit in the Paleo Hebrew. Double honors to the elder apostles, the elder bishops, the elder prophets, who rule well, teaching His word and believing His word. Lord willing, they can continue to endure and be sincere. And a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect that is scattered four corners of the earth, teaching His word and believing His word. Lord willing, they can move in the same spirit to endure and to be sincere. And shalom to the Aquathium that are believers of His word. Lord willing, they can continue to pursue their lot, which is being a loving and silent and virtuous wife. And Lord willing, the Most High have mercy for the other brothers and sisters that's not in the faith. Right? I don't really know what I'm gonna title this lesson, but I'm going into the red letters, man. You know, better yet, a red letter conversation. So this is gonna be, I guess, a red letter conversation. I'm in the book of Luke, the 14th chapter, and you know, when I woke up, you know, instead of praying, I wanted something to hit me, you know, to have me thinking of Yahawashi, you know, and going through different books that I'm already reading. It draw me to say, you know what, let me go into Yahawashi. And this, of course, in the gospel, you hear it in different words, different deliveries, right? But this is hitting, you know, all of them is hitting, but it hit me for the moment right now. You know, two things I'm thinking of, which is in these segments we're going to read out this chapter. Take not the highest room or the highest seat. And we have to be lowly, you know, to be in the Lord's ministry, we have to be lowly, right? And while we being lowly, talking to the men that are called to teach His word, we have to continue going to the highways and byways, continue going to the highways and the hedges, right? To compel the people of a low decree, you know, people that's poor, people that are maimed, right? Basically injured or crippled, right? But through the spirit, a lot of us is crippled when we just look in the spirit, right? Because you won't know until the sheep hear the voice of Yahweh Shai through you by the scriptures, man, right? And another point of, you know, we got to come in this thing with lesser love. Really, you got to hate your mother and father, your wife, your children, your brothers, and your sisters. This is for the men. You know, when you go to 1 Corinthians chapter 7, us men, even women, we supposed to be moving like we not even married, right? And how is that? So that you can focus on the Lord. You're going to still do the things that you're supposed to, you know, for your wife, especially for your husband. But really for the men, you got to be working towards your Yahweh Shemashah like you don't got no wife, right? Because a lot of times the wife, really the household, will take you away from the duties of the Lord, you know. But when it comes to you being stern for your Yahweh Shem Yahawashi, literally your wife, she will see it in you, you know. And eventually, you know, your household, your wife, and your children would things would change. They would be more considerate. They would probably push you because they see that they don't want to be here either. They don't want this to be their rest, right? And they might be simple, right? Because a man's mind is logic, and we're kind of really simple, right? So let's just get into it. We're gonna read a few things, and then we're gonna jump around, and then Lord willing, we can get like some precepts on the side, right? So we're gonna start at verse 8. So this is Luke chapter 14. I'm gonna start at 7. It says, and he put forth a parable, an earthly story, a heavenly matter, to those which were bidden. And when he marked how they chose out the chief rooms, saying unto them, when thou art bidden of any man to a wedding, sit not down in the highest room, lest a more honorable man than thou be bidden of him. And he that bade thee and him come and say to thee, give this man place, and thou begin with shame to take the lowest room, right? We can't be ashamed to take the lowest room or the lowest seat. You know, it's already people that have it in their mind to get the highest room or the highest seat. Let alone when we look at the truth now, they want the top position in this thing. They want to be known that they are this guy, right? But you want to be low. Yahawashi didn't want everybody to know, right? It was more of a secretive, right? Because we're really only doing this for the elect. And you have to be an example only for the elect. Verse 10, it says, but when thou art bidden, go and sit down in the lowest room, that when he that bade thee cometh, and he may say unto thee, friend, go up higher, right? That's how the Lord is going to work. He wants to see your heart. So it's better that we become low, because the Lord might bring somebody that's going to bring you on high, you know, give you a better seat, give you a higher position. You know, sometimes we got to be put in a lower place to humble yourself, right? Because this whole chapter is really going into teaching on humility, right? So bade thee cometh, he may say unto thee, bade thee cometh, he may say unto thee, friend, go up higher. Then shalt thou have worship in the presence of them that sit at meat with thee. For whosoever exalteth himself shall be abased, and he that humbleth himself shall be exalted, right? And you could be exalted in this time, being lowly, right? But, you know, the elect, they're waiting for Yahawashi to come, you know, because we'll be exalted, uplifted with Yahawashi, you know. This being under the sun is really made for us to be like a Jacob, moving and living a simple life, right? Being like Elijah, you know, being jealous for the Lord, right? Being dedicated to the Lord, right? Everything about Yahawashi is your delight, you know. The other day I was thinking when I told the brothers that, you know, the Lord chose us to go through this suffering, you know, to not be like fully Elijah, where he didn't know sin. He was righteous in the eyes of the Lord, and he beamed him up. He got translated, you know. It'd be amazing if Yahawashi chose us to be translated, you know, but he picked us for a different mission, you know, and Lord willing, we can overconquer the mission he put in front of us, right? But it's all by his will, right? So let me read verse 11 again. For whosoever exalted himself shall be abased, and he that humble himself shall be exalted. Now verse 12. Now it's going to switch, but it's going into the same thing. It says, then he said also to him that bade him, when thou makest a dinner or a supper, call not thy friends, nor thy brethren, neither thy kinsmen, nor thy rich neighbors, lest they also bid thee again, and recompense be made. But when thou makest a feast, call the poor, maimed, the lame, the blind, and thou shalt be blessed, for they cannot repay thee, for thou shalt be recompensed at the resurrection of the just, right? That's how it should be in this time, you know, do for the lowly. And then in the same, you look at who is the lowly, the ones that's around your circle, right? Brothers just doing either new moon feast if they can, or Passover, and either brothers can bring what they can. If they can't, you know, the Lord provides in a set, you know, because when you even go into scriptures, this is all about the elect, you know. The sheep is going to want to hear the words of the Lord, and them sheep is going to want to suck with you, right? They're going to want to understand why are you humble, right? And if you saying Yahawashi, they're going to want to dine with you. They're going to want to have that same light, right? They want to have that same courage as you, you know. We ain't just talking about a regular, just poor person that just give on life and they not doing for the Lord, you know. Like the apostle said, the men of the Lord is not poor, right? If we talking about like the ones that was called to go teach, the ones that was called to be example for this truth, they're not outside asking for $1 or a quarter, you know. But now we're in this end time. It's all about the elect, and the elect is coming poor. They're coming lowly. They're coming with a simple mind, a simple spirit, right? So so again, let's get verse 13 again. It says, "But when thou makest a feast, call the poor and the maimed, the lame, the blind, and thou shalt be blessed, and they cannot recompense thee, for thou shalt be recompensed at the resurrection of the just." The resurrection of the just is when Yahawashi come and you get that glorified body, but you're alive, fully living, and you're going to be with the Lord forever. 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 15 and 17, right? So now we're dropping down. I'm going to read verse 17. Yeah, I'm going to read verse 15, Salaki. Yeah, I'm going to read verse 15, and then I'm going to drop down to... Nope, I'm going to just read through it. Verse 15, it says, "When one of them that sat at meat with him heard these things, he said unto him, Blessed is he that shall eat bread in the kingdom of God." Lord willing, we are of that number, right? It says, "Then said he unto him, A certain man made a great supper and bade many, and sent his servants at supper time to say to them that were bidden, Come, for all things are now ready. And they all with one consent began to make excuse," right? They begin to make excuses, and this is a lot of us. We make excuses while the Lord is calling us. It goes back to the example, many are called, but few is chosen. It's good to be called, but are you chosen to do this? Are you chosen to suffer? And they all with one consent began to make excuse. The first said unto him, I have bought a piece of ground, and I must go and see it. I pray thee, have me excused. And another said, I have bought 5 yokes of oxen, and I go to prove them. I pray thee, have me excused. And another said, I have married a wife, and therefore I cannot go. Right? We're not in a time where you taking days off because you married. And half of us is not even half. Most of us ain't even getting virgins. We're making too many excuses. There's a lot of us brothers that might say, I gotta build and order my house. The ministry start with the men, right? Let me get a side precept real quick. This is Proverbs 8:4. Unto you, O men, I call, and my voice is to the sons of men, right? The Lord's voice is to the sons of men, right? I believe this is the other precept I want. Lord willing, this is it. Hold on. Salaki family. Ezekiel 34, verse 31. This is what it reads. And ye, my flock, the flock of my pasture, are men, and I am your power, saith the Lord God. Right? This is all starting by the men. Right? Yahawashi is calling the men unto this marriage first. Right? Because that's the order. Right? That's the order of this thing. Right? Yahawashi is calling the men. Right? Especially in the time that we in right now, right? This is the end times. And later on when we get into more of the scriptures, it's gonna show that if a man don't hate his father, his mother, his wife, his children, his brothers and sisters, he is not fit to be a disciple. So brothers that's putting their wife or their children before putting their hands to the plow, you think like right now in the time, well, we should really be taking a whole year break off. That's a brother that's trying to have his high seat. A brother is looking like we're in a good position. It's not the time of Hezekiah or Hosea. We're not in the time of Solomon and David where we might be at peace. We're in the low time, and we're in the hands of Esau. Right? So reading that last one again. And another said, I have married a wife, and therefore I cannot come. We cannot make excuses. because Yahawashi came down. He didn't make no excuses. This is to be like Yahawashi, right? Now, verse 21, so that servant came and showed his Lord these things. Then the master of the house, being angry, says to his servant, right? The Lord is angry, right? The one, he's calling so many. He's angry that all these people that I'm calling. But of course, it's going to always be a relief because he knows the ones that's going. But when you have children, you want them all to come, right? So of course the Lord is angry. This is why the 2/3 are going to be destroyed, right? From the anger of the Lord. So that the servant came and showed his Lord these things. Then the master of the house, being angry, said to his servant, go out quickly into the streets, in lanes of the city, and bring in hither the poor, the maimed, and the halt, and the blind, right? Those are the lesser people, right? But people that are poor. What is this? I think this is, because I know he say, let me see. Maybe it's Revelations chapter 2. Let me see. Right, let's see. Because the Lord wants us to, the humble is poor, right? Even the Lord knows this, right? This goes for all Israel, but this is really towards Jews, right? This is Revelation chapter 2, verse 9. I know thy works and tribulations and poverty, right? Poverty is you being of a low degree, being poor. Where most of the Lord's people is at, in the ghettos. Where ghetto mean where Jews reside, right? It says, but thou art rich, right? The ones that are in the low degree, but they truly believe, they're rich because of Yahawashi. You can't be rich if you don't believe in Yahawashi. And I know the blasphemy of them would say that they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. I'm going to get another side one because that was dealing with Jews. So let's get another one. Romans chapter 9, verse 6. Not as though the word of God have none effect. Have taken none effect, for they are not all Israel, which are Israel. So even in the time of Revelation, you had some Jake calling themselves Jews, but they wasn't Jews, because to really be called these names, we must walk like it, you know? And a true Israelite is somebody that is low, and somebody that truly believes in Yahweh Shem Yahawashi and has fear or jealous for Yahweh Shem Yahawashi, you know? Even for yourself. You don't want yourself to go off, so you examine yourself that you're a mirror of what the Lord wants you to be as a man and as a woman. Right? Because this is bigger than getting a dumbass car or having the top job. You know, a lot of us just look at it as providing in your household, right? That's a nice little toy, but ain't nothing compared to what we're gonna have with Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahawashi, right? Now let me get this other last one. We will go back to Luke. What is it? Yeah. This is Revelations 22:12. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according to his work shall be. Right? So even though we know the Lord is going to come with a reward for the wicked, but talking about the righteous, talking about the just, that's going to inherit that resurrection, that's going to inherit that immortal glorified body. Right? He's coming with your reward. So continue to be lowly. Right? Continue to take the lower seat. Continue to have a simple life. Continue to have Yahweh Shem Yahawashi on your heart, right? And being in your peripheral vision at all that you do, right? Because you want to show that you love the Lord more than the things that you have and the people around you, right? So back to Luke, the 14th chapter, and verse 22. It says, and the servant said to the Lord, it is done, as thou has commanded, and yet there is room. And the Lord said unto the servant, go into the highways and the hedges, just like it says in Matthew 22, because he tells us to bid either good or bad to the marriage, right? In the highways, in the highways and byways, right? Where brothers is on the high main street, you might go on the byways where you might be near a park or something, or a side street, and you teaching his word. But the elect can either walk past you, But look at the time we in now. We're in a technology, digital time where the elect can just watch the video, you know, and the sheep is going to hear that voice, and eventually they're going to want to know the name of the Lord. They're going to want to know who they is. They want to know the understanding, the doctrine of Yahawashi from the sincere milk, the parables, the dark sayings, and the prophecies. And of course, they're going to want to read their history. It's going to take time, but they're going to have a delight, right? So again, verse 23, and the Lord said unto the servant, go out into the highways and hedges, and compel them to come in, that my house may be filled. For I say unto you, that none of those men which are bidden shall taste of my supper. Right? So the ones that was making excuses before, they're not going to be able to taste that supper, you know. But you're going to be reborn in the kingdom. That supper is coming when Yahawashi get here, man. You know. That's when Yahawashi is going to divide the wicked from the righteous. That's where Yahawashi is going to set order. That's where we're going to get our robes, right? This is where our peace begins. This is where a Yahawashi kingship happens, right? And it's not going to ever fall, ever be overtaken, you know? And you got to be humble and lowly and continue to occupy in this. You have to choose Yahawashi, you know? He's the matter. He's the fact. He's the end all be all, right? You got to really look at your life as being so low. Like, this life on this side is so low. It's not even compared, because like the brother Bashar always say, we can't even imagine what comes next. You can see it in the scriptures, but it's even further, let alone living eternity or eternal, which means permanent, a permanent existence. You can't even fathom and never being bored. Where niggas on this side, I'm bored, you know, couldn't even imagine. Now dropping down to 26, basically the cost of being a disciple, right? The cost of being a disciple for the Lord, right? So this is going directly towards men, right? The dream team. Luke chapter 14, verse 26. If any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sisters, yeah, in his own life also, he cannot be my disciple, right? You got to hate all those things. Love them less. Our lives don't matter. And the true elect on this side is hating this side. They want this to be destroyed. Right? People want it to. I don't want it to be up for another day. Let the MOTB come in 5 minutes. You know, I want to see people really in turmoil. I mean, I want to see people distressed, so that they can understand that this was not a game. Like, you were really living in the words of Yahawashi, and you didn't even notice. You know, you didn't even notice. So for the men that the Lord have given this word, that baton to, this word, you know, you have to run with it towards the mark. And as soon as Yahawashi gave it to you, 1 Timothy 1:12, he enabled you because he seen you was faithful. And while you running, you're running to the mark. And the mark is Yahawashi. You see how fire that is? When you're doing a relay, the first runner is giving a baton to the next, to the next, to the next, and then it's last. But let's switch it. Let's make it the way that it should be. The one that's really giving you the baton is Yahawashi. And when you finish, at the finish line, it's Yahawashi. Who's coming? Yahawashi. On behalf of Abba Yahweh. Yahawashi is the physical Godhead of Yahweh in the Rakah Kodash. Right? How much more we put in him before anything in our life, man. Right? Because Sirach 4:28, if we strive for the truth, we strive for Yahawashi, we strive for Yahawashi, the Most High is going to fight for us. How? Because just like how he had Yahawashi make the elect, or how he had Yahawashi make everything, the Lord is going to send out those orders, because Yahawashi is confessing you to his Father. And now the Father puts you in heart. Oh, that's Yahawashi brother. That's Yahawashi sister. That's Yahawashi mother. Mark 3:35. Whoever do the will of my Father is my brother, mother, and sister. And if the Lord knows that you're being a reflection of his Son, guess what? The Lord is already done. Right? Isaiah 43 and NLT, starting at 16, I think, to 21. It tells you he's going to do a new thing, and he said he already done it. how much more us? You know, it's something that kingdom, the position, or growing in wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, being safe, healing, or when you're at your lowest state in this moment, really in Jacob's trouble, you know, power might, the Lord might put the Rakak Wadash fully in you. You know, we're gonna need the Lord at our greatest and our lowest moment. You know, but nobody else outside that can increase you enough like Yahawashi. This is why we hate everything less, and you hate your own life. My feet hurting, about to go to work, body about to be hurting, but you gotta work to provide. You gotta work just to have a little living. But outside of living, the food you eating, but outside of that, we know Yahawashi got us, because we already been polluted with the food here. You know, we already been polluted. But just like how we're working out our body, you need to make sure you're working out your spirit. What you intake as food, make sure you intaking this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding so you could be wholesome. Right? So going back to the scripts, Luke chapter 14, verse 27. And whosoever doeth not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple. Right? So if you ain't picking up that cross, you can't even say that you're a disciple, right, of Yahawashi. And which of you attending to build a tower sitteth not down first and count the cost, whether he have efficient to finish it, right? You want to sit down to make sure you got efficient funds, right? You just not about to just go build and you don't got the money, right? That's us being even wise, even more. It says, less happily, after he had laid the foundation, is not able to finish it, all that behold it begin to mock him, saying, this man began to build and was not able to finish. Or what king goeth to make war against another king, and sit down first, and consulted whether he is able with 10,000 to meet him that cometh against him with 20,000? Or else, while the other is yet great a way off, he sendeth in ambassage and desire of condition of peace. So likewise, whosoever he be of you that forsaketh not all that he hath, he cannot be my disciple. Forsaken, abandoned, right? And this is how the men of the Lord got to be. You know, what if it has to come where you got to go to the FEMA camp? They chasing you. You might just leave your family behind. You know, what it really comes is when you're dedicating yourself to Yahawashi, you're abandoning your family. Now I got to go teach this. Well, I got to go to camp. I got to go study. But of course, it's going to be a balance. But again, like I said earlier, the wife that you may have, the children you may have, they'll see that what the Lord had put in front of us is bigger than ourselves. And she'll grow into being more simple, right? Because the children of the Lord is not going to make it complicated on each other. We're all trying to put Yahawashi before all the things that we do have. But it's really towards the men. A wife, Yahamashiach, under the true Yahawashi, is your husband. So you're looking at him as Yahawashi. But the husband has to hate y'all all less. He has to be the example of showing you Yahawashi come first. And your wife will be doing that too, because she'll yield in her position and understand. You know, it's a beautiful thing, because Yahawashi, everything is real, everything is solid, everything is correct. You know, it's just us in this dumbass flesh, which is so weak. We got to constantly fight this battle on this side and overcome the flesh with the spirit. Let alone you have other nations, starting with Esau, that's trying to attack you where it comes to your health. Trying to attack you, of course, spiritually, and get you mentally, right? So we're all worn out by these mother suckers, right? So to continue on reading, so you can't be fit to be called a disciple. Verse 34, salt is good, but if the salt have lost its savior, wherewith shall it be seasoned? What is that salt? Salt is flavor. What brings the men of the Lord flavor? The wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahawashi, right? That's what gives us salt. That's what seasoning. That's where we get our season from, right? And let me just get a precept, and then we'll just close, right? Wait, hold on. Hold on. Let me read this. It's Matthew 5:13. Going, it's this kind of the same thing. Ye are the salt of the earth. But if the salt have lost its savor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing, but to be cast out and to be trodden under foot of men. That just brings you back to Wisdom of Solomon 9:6. Without thy wisdom, we are regarded as nothing. That salt is the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. That salt is the breath of life Yahawashi have given you, right? Colossians 4:6. Let your speech be always with grace seasoned with salt, that ye may know how ye ought to answer every man. How you going to answer a man? Thus saith the Lord, right? What is it? If he don't speak according to this word, there's no light in him. Let's get that. Isaiah 8:20. I like it in the NLT because it tells you, you're in darkness. It tells you if you contradict the word, you are in darkness. But let's read in the KJV. It says, to the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them, right? The salt is removed. It's that light. If you're not speaking according to this word, you don't have that light, right? And the light is really Yahawashi, because Yahawashi is the one that puts the light within us, right? So we have to be humble. We have to be lowly, right? You have to put Yahawashi before all things, right? So let me get this. This is James chapter 4, verse 10, right? It says, humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord, and he shall lift you up, right? Humble yourself in the sight of the Lord. People, oh, the Lord don't see me. He see through, man. He can see through these clouds, see through disaster. Humble yourself, lower yourself, because he's going to lift you up. He'll lift you up with his wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, so you'll be able to understand. Now, let me just get this in Colossians. Yeah, let me get this in Colossians real quick. What did I want? Oh, yeah. This is Colossians chapter 3, verse 23. And whatsoever ye do, do it heartily as to the Lord and not unto men, right? How you live in your life, live your life like you're doing it for the Lord, right? You could be at work, you working, and it's like you doing it for the Lord. And even more, like the brother Yahawashi, he always says, he said, man, look at work as you serving the Lord. You gotta lift, you gotta do this, just the same as when you're working out. You gotta get your body right. Even more, you gotta get your spirit right. Everything you do, you want to feel like you're doing it for the Lord. Being consistent, you're doing it for the Lord. Getting your family ready, you're doing it for the Lord. Everything that you do on this side, you want to do it like you're doing it for the Lord, not for self, not for them and them and them. But everything that you do for the Lord, it is for them, right? Because I said that was the last one. 2 Timothy. No, was it 1 Timothy? Yes, it's 2 Timothy. 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 10. Therefore I endure all things for the elect's sake, that they may also obtain the salvation which is in Hamashiach Yahawashi with eternal glory, right? And I don't know if I'm the elect, but what this ministry, when the Lord calls you, everything you do in His truth, you're supposed to endure, and you're enduring it for the elect's sake. Every time you're teaching for the elect's sake. Every time you study, you're studying for the elect's sake. So when you do a video, it comes out correct. And then say if you do mess up, Lord willing, the Most High send a brother or somebody next to you, or a brother make a video, you be like, oh man, I was off on that. Let me do a correction video. Because everything we do, we doing it for the elect's sake. You endure for the elect's sake. You strive for the elect's sake, right? Because the elect is going to make it. Right? And the work that we're doing on this side that Yahawashi called us to do is not in vain. Lord willing, this was motivating. Lord willing, this was edifying to encourage you to be lowly, to be humble, and for you men to put your hands on the plow and not make excuses, regardless what level or where you at in your life. So with that, I'm going to say Shalom. All praise to the one true power, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. And mighty Shalom to the hopeful elect, whoever you may be, scattered four corners of the earth, teaching this word and believing this word in the truth, right? And teaching it, bringing forth 100% of the Most High's doctrine. Lord willing, you can adore and be sincere. And with that, Shalom, Shalom, Yahweh speed.